All right, some of the 80s biggest and most enduring hits were created by a single band, Wang Chung, including Dance Hall Days, love that one. Everybody Have Fun Tonight, everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
And Let's Go and more.
That's right, ahead of their stop on the I Want My 80s tour. Oh, here he is, Jack Hughes of Wang Chung. Jack, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. This is huge for us because I don't know if you could tell just by what we look like, but we are in the wheelhouse. We remember everything about the videos, the fun. Thank you so much for being here.
100%. Graduated from high school in 1987, so I am so excited to get to talk to you today. Thanks for doing this.
Wonderful. Yeah, well, thanks for remembering.
It's a soundtrack of our lives, really. So you've got a lot of cool things happening, though. The release of Clear Light, Dark Matter, a Wang Chung career retrospective, is something that we want to talk about. Talk about that because, you know, we all go back in time, but this is a kind of a really nice way to do it.
Yeah, you know, looking at the sort of legacy of the band, as it were, you know, we were thinking, how do we sort of introduce that? And so we've made this album called Clear Light, Dark Matter. It's a double album. We wanted to make physical copies, so it's on vinyl and on CD, and you can get it through our website and through the record label Sing. Album one is the hits, essentially going from Don't Let Go through to Don't Let Go was our first single in America, and then through to Space Junk, which is a track we did in the 90s that became very successful because it got picked up and used in a series called The Walking Dead. And then album two is all about rarities, outtakes, some demos. There's the demo of Dance All Days, demo of To Live and Die in LA. And some stuff from very early on, a track called Isn't It About Time We Were on TV, which is one of the first things that Nick and I did together. And it takes you right up to the present day with Everybody Have Fun Tonight, a new remix by Eric Cupper.
Oh my gosh, you just mentioned that, and I'm going back and I see your face just kind of doing the old 1980s MTV music thing. The I Want My 80s tour with Rick Springfield and others, that has got to be, what is it like? You guys, I'm assuming you guys have crossed paths many times over the years. What is it like touring with these guys?
Well, we haven't actually. You know, meeting Rick for the first time on this tour, and John. Paul Young is on the tour as well, and he's an old friend from back in the UK. We used to be managed by the same guy, actually, like in the late, well, very early 80s, you know. But no, everyone gets on incredibly well. I think we're all... well, I'm certainly in awe of John and Rick because they're real rockers, you know, and they've been in the business all this time. Well, I guess I have too, you know, but there's a lot of mutual respect, I think. And, you know, it was funny, John Waite was doing his sound check with the band and they started playing Everybody Have Fun Tonight. So I think we should start playing Missing You, you know. So.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. I feel like there's a community involved when you go to these kind of performances, that there's a share. I think kids today don't have what we had back then because entertainment is so fragmented. But in the 80s, you all listened to the same music and you all like appreciated the same band. So when you get together for these kind of concerts, it does feel very community oriented. What's the atmosphere like from your perspective?
Well, very much so. I mean, we were playing last night up here in Michigan. I can't quite remember the location, but it was packed, you know, and people are just like so into it, you know. And obviously the bands all play a mixture of newer stuff, but they play the hits, you know. So people are getting what they came for, you know. I want my 80s, and they get it, you know. But you're right. I think people. I guess back then MTV was so powerful. You know, MTV was a sort of national station, the first time that had happened in the States, really, because up until then it was radio stations, sort of like that's the way you got through to the public. And obviously a radio station in New York played different music to a radio station in LA, but MTV played the same music right across the nation, you know, and that meant that Wang Chung was in everybody's living room all the time.
So I have a question.
That was incredible.
I have a chance to ask you this. When they dropped Wang Chung in that episode of Cheers, did you know what was going to happen, or was it a surprise to you?
No, but my kids phoned me up.
Okay. You must have died.
Yeah, they loved it, and that's still one of my favorite mentions of Wang Chung. It's so great.
It's perfect.
You mentioned you guys are still making music, which is fantastic, and you're going to do a reissue on vinyl. Is that coming out as well?
Yeah, this is Clear Light, Dark Matter. So that is out right now. Came out in May 9th. You can buy it at the gigs, but you can get it online too. So yeah, I recommend it. It's got some stuff that's never been available before.
How long is your part of the I Love the 80s? Like how long is Wang Chung in that
Do a
whole
30-minute
concert?
set. So yeah, which is kind of good. I think Wang Chung fans want more, but I'm sure John Waite fans want more as well. So I think that's the way these things work. You get a taster of each band, but more than that. Like, we've done 80s tours in the past where there's definitely too many bands and not enough time, in my opinion. But this one's a good mix, and I think each band really presents themselves in a strong way, and each band is really good. Really good.
I know I'm not the first one to ask this question, but it always amazes me. Did you think 40 years ago you would still be singing the same song and people would still have such an incredible reaction as to this day?
No, you don't think about it like that. I mean, when we're recording, like Dance All Days, for example, yeah, I mean, you're just doing the best you can. For me personally, I had no sense that it would blow up in the way that it did, and I think obviously Nick and I are from the UK, although I live in the States now. But yeah, the success that we've had here has been really incredible. So yeah, it's still a surprise, and I'll never get over it.
Well, we won't either, and we will never forget those great tunes. And thank you for sharing with us again when you come to Toledo. Wang Chung is in Toledo, Rick Springfield.
Fantastic, John Waite.
Love it.
Amazing.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for talking. That's great. Thank you.